being upside down, or as the kids would say, the upside down. Hey, we're good. Keep going. All right, so what we got? Handstand push-ups, wall climbs, and handstand walking. And the biggest thing I want to do is be able to help you for your gym, for the open, for whatever it is that you're going to be doing to become more efficient and mainly build up the strength. But it's not going to be necessarily a super, okay, here's how we're going to get your first handstand push-up. But this will all help you to be able to do that and then walk. So we're going to head over to the wall. So handstand push-ups. The first thing is being able to kick up and hold yourself up. And one of the most valuable things that you can do is just sit upside down, whether that's freestanding or regular. So what I would say to do is a couple times a week, just go upside down for 2 to 5 minutes. And it might be where you're just holding as long as you possibly can, 2 or 3 sets, where you're accumulating a certain amount of time, but just being able to be upside down. That's number one. Now, if you have handstand push-ups, one thing I want you to think about is your hands should be far enough away from the wall that your head can go in between your hands. So you need to make that tripod, boom, boom, and head here. A lot of times I see people put their head between their shoulders. It's very hard to press in this position. We want to be here. So you should always be able to see your hands, and your hands should be slightly out. So sometimes you might even have it out here. The higher you are, your hand might be out. The less distance you have to go down, it might be straight. But I always say pointer finger straight or slightly out is where I want my hands to be. So now whether you're kipping or doing strict handstand push-ups, a way to practice increasing your volume is to slow your lower down. So meaning, take time to lower yourself down, press. Take time to lower yourself down, but then also practice going down quickly. So a lot of times people will be like, oh, I'm scared of like hitting my head, or it'll tweak my neck. The ground doesn't change, and I say this a lot, the ground isn't moving. So you can get yourself down there quick enough to where you're close, but learn how to almost not hit the ground. So for me, you can see me slowing myself right before I get to the ground and then just kissing it. It's not about falling, it's about control. So on the handstand, building up the strength through holds and slowing yourself down. And then I like to do like 50 to 100 for time, or maybe 5 minutes to 7 minutes, as many as I can do. But what that does is it gives you the ability to test and retest. How many can you do in 5 minutes? Can I do more? One more the next time. That is the goal. Now, wall climbs. That's a newer one we've been seeing the last couple years. And what I want to think about is, number one, building up strength. So a great way to do this would be, if I walk up, just being able to hold in this position. Being able to hold in this position. Finding in all the positions how I can get stronger. And it is just holding. A lot of times we only do the movement and we don't practice aspects of it. So one thing for me, as I've been practicing, let's say I've been practicing all this, when I'm doing a wall climb, use my right arm more than I use my left. What I mean is when I go up, I go left, right arm, left, boom, boom, and I touch. So I'm always doing one more. So what I try to do is vary the arms I use. So number one, you need to know how many steps does it take you to get up the wall. So I'm gonna do one, and I'm gonna show you how I do it, and then I'm gonna show you what I think about to make sure that I don't always go with my right arm. So here's what it looks like. I have my hand on the line, press, I step, and I go right, left, left. And then down. What I'll do next is bring myself up and I'll kick this leg up first and then start with my left. Now, this only applies for those who use one arm more than the other. If you're somebody who it takes you 2 times going up on each side, that's fine. Compare it to, I just told this to Tim, compare it to like doing 3 pistols and you go right, right, but then every set restarts with your right. So you're doing double the reps on one side. You don't notice how bad it is until you get far in a workout and you're like, oh my gosh, my one arm. So focus on your movement. You should know how many steps it takes you to get up the wall. How can you eliminate those steps? So if it takes you 6, how can you go to 5 or 4? Speeding up how you get up and get down is gonna help you maximize efficiency. And what I mean by that is if you're somebody who takes 4 and then 8 and then 10, always be the same. So if I'm pressing and I'm doing this, most likely what that means is I'm not good at shifting my weight. Now that leads us to handstands, handstand walking. So what I mean is this is gonna be great for somebody who can't take big steps in handstand or wall climbs, and if you're somebody who wants to practice or get handstand walking. So I kick up, and what I gotta be able to do is shift, and the longer I can hold on one side, the easier it's gonna be for me to walk up in bigger chunks. And this is great to practice. So doing 50 where I go to one side, raise my arm, touch my shoulder, shoulder taps. Practicing that is gonna translate right away onto the floor. And how you practice on the floor is tell yourself you gotta walk 4 feet, or 8 feet, or 10 feet. Set a distance, and once you can do that, increase it. Ask, how many times in 5 minutes can I go 4 feet, or 10 feet? Create a challenge. And then how you make that harder is increase how long you have to be up. Maybe it's 15 feet, 20 feet. And then the same thing, you can go ahead and increase the time that you're doing it. Add a movement in there. But all of these you have to practice individually to improve on. So hopefully that helps, and you're gonna crush this year, and I'm super excited to see how you do.